Hello friends, really happy to be talking to you through this medium for the first time. It's really great to be part of a group which has such great travel enthusiasts. But my reason for talking to you today through this medium is to actually question you, probe you, prod you to actually think how far are you ready to go in this quest for living your dream, for travel. How far are you ready to break through the shackles of your daily monotonous mundane life and go out there and really live your dream of traveling, of seeing the world, of connecting with people, diverse people spread across the globe. The fact also is that how far we can really go is limited by our resources and our imagination. But there's one man, in fact, one family, which gave this definition of, or this quest for how far can you go, a completely different definition. So much so that they decided to undertake a journey which started from here in Mumbai and ended in London, in a journey in which they drove through 19 countries, diverse terrains, over a period of nearly 2 months, covering nearly half the circumference of Earth, to live their dream of really going far and wide and connecting with this beautiful world. I'm sure you are guessing it by now. Really thankful to Mr. Badri and his family to afford us this time today to get a perspective and inspiration on what does it really take to undertake such a daunting travel.
Well, once we were traveling to London by flight, and I was in the window seat, and it was a full moon night, and I could see the Alps mountain shining so nicely. They were so beautiful. So I proposed, Pushpa was sitting next to me, saying that why not we really come through those mountains rather than no. So it was a very casual dream, which I took it a little serious when I returned to Mumbai, and I started looking to the possibilities. And when I talked to some people, they said it's not an easy job; it's a real challenging job. And at your age of 72, 73, it is going to be really difficult. That's the time I decided that I should accept this challenge to prove that age is no bar. Well, when I started thinking about it, I went a step further and I said, we'll just go, maybe we'll just complete our trip and come back. But we are not left with many more years in future. So why not we take somebody who has a longer life? So we ultimately selected our granddaughter, who is just 9 years old, to join us for the trip, and the parents were kind enough to send her with us. And that was the first thing we did, and then selection of car was the important thing, because we wanted minimum 190 mm ground clearance. We had X1 which had 181 mm clearance, so my son insisted that I should go for a better car, so we went for X5 BMWs, which has a 210 mm clearance. And after that, there are two ways: either we join the other members who are interested in this trip at the border, Myanmar, fly there and get the car there, and etc. The other one is to drive right from here and I thought if I really challenging myself, that's just 49 days, but I wanted to make it as long as possible. So I planned for a 72 days trip, which included 24 days traveling within India, 10 states.
Wow.
Okay. And not only we just covered the normal route, but we covered so many historical, religious, and other places which were not only interesting to us, but also of great uh, advantage to my granddaughter, to see place like Jhansi Fort or Nalanda University, and uh, Darjeeling, that little train in Darjeeling, and those sort of thing, and Kaziranga sanctuaries, etc. So 24 days we spent there, and then we joined other members who are also willing to come at Impact. Yeah, and as far as visas are concerned, yes, it was a decision in principle that we are not going to depend on visas on arrival. So we planned meticulously that within 3 months, because normally the visas are valid for 3 months. So within 3 months, we should obtain all the visas which are required, for these countries. Of course, we had UK long-term visa with us, but others we had to arrange. Being rigid vegetarians, so doesn't get to take onions and garlic also. We had to make some preparations for food, etc. So we knew that there will be some challenges we have to face, as long as we don't consider them as problems. As long as we consider them as challenges, it should be fine.
Wow, beautiful. I'm sure you would have had your fun moments, your tough moments. Which was like the toughest? I can imagine food. And myself being a vegetarian there, so I can imagine the kind of struggle vegetarians go through, especially when you are driving outside of India.
In China, at least.
Yeah, in China. Yeah, absolutely. So, was that the biggest challenge, food, or?
Well, we did not have any tough problems as such, but let me say food was one of the problems, and we had some problems with our windshield of the car. So otherwise, Nishi, my granddaughter, was with us, but whatever vegetarian food we carried with us, that was finished within a week or 10 days. But we were running out of it, and we were worried that how we are going to manage Nishi, because it's important that she keeps her health well, you see.
Yes.
I sent a message to my son, Anand, that please courier some theplas to Chengdu Hotel, and at least we knew that we are going to get some stuff there. But when we reached there and asked the reception, do they have any spas for us? They said no. It was a little disappointing. And midnight at around 12 o'clock, there is a ding dong bell at my room, and when I open the, my son is personally there.
Oh my God!
With theplas.
Lovely, outstanding.
So that was the most emotional moment I had.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I mean, he did his job in his time, and that's how the relations between the parents and children should be.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Very good. Oh my
Just
God.
came to deliver the theplas.
Oh my God.
His line of thinking was that in case the courier doesn't reach in time,
Wow.
my parents will suffer.
Oh.
So let me just go and deliver it to them. So he came all the way from Mumbai to China to deliver those. I think the entire route is beautiful. We love snow.
Wow.
And crossing the snow mountains in China and Kyrgyzstan was really beautiful. It was a beautiful time we had. But what impressed me as a citizen of India, two things. One is going through the bridges which were built by INA, led by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. 46 of such bridges had to be crossed in Myanmar.
Beautiful.
I was just wondering how those guys must have managed to build bridges in those dense forests. You see. And the second thing which really impressed me is, and in fact I wanted to visit one, in my lifetime, Tashkent, where Lal Bahadur Shastri, our ex-Prime Minister, the most respected Prime Minister out of the list I had, breath is last. As from commercial point of view, I think what China has done is the best I could consider. The roads, particularly the infrastructure they have, is something amazing, unbelievable in the remotest parts. The roads are so smooth. Either we were going on the bridges, which were as long as 5 to 8 kilometers length, or we were going through the tunnels, which again were about 5 to 10 kilometers in length. So all through, we were just flying through those roads, and no curves, and no serious curves, etc., etc. And the roads, I don't know what type of roads. Even when we're driving at 150, 160, which officially is not permitted. And there are absolutely no vibrations of the car, absolutely, 160, 170, no problems, you see. So it's amazing stretch we had. Otherwise, I think the whole stretch was.
China driving was
Very beautiful. Wow. Wow.
Let me give this way of an incident. When we were traveling, when we were crossing Uzbekistan, there was one pebble stone which came and hit our windshield. I have a long way to go, and naturally the cracks will develop, and very shortly we will not be able to drive with this windshield. And how to resolve this challenge? After 5 days, when we were crossing Lithuania, there is a beautiful bird coming from the front. This was stock. But straight away it came and hit my windshield because she wanted just not to see me but to hug me. Okay, so, and I was at a speed of 130 kilometers, and it's a heavy bird coming from the front. It smashed my complete windshield. So now there is another challenge I have, that it's not question of just repairing a stone or hole, it's question of replacing and we were in an odd jungles, and there were no service workshop around. Of course, we resolved that problem, because BMW said you wait for 10 days, they were not that cooperative on that matter. They didn't realize the importance of our travel. But in any case, as we resolved it, I learned a lesson there, that when we have a bigger problem, we forget about the smaller problems. I had a crash of windshield, and I forgot about that hole I had some time back. Why did I forget that? Because first of all, there was no problem. I considered mentally as a problem. Okay? So in the world, there are no problems as such, till the bigger problem comes. That means there are no problems. We have to consider that, we have to accept the fact no problems remain permanently.
Beautiful.
And what we consider as problem is our mental thinking, not otherwise.
Beautiful.